All right. So I guess now you understand what the plan was.
Absolutely. At Colts Law, we talk Indianapolis Colts football.
We're going to stick to what we know, fundamentals and technique, 1% better every day.
Hey, what's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen. Sorry for the delay. My boy Loyalist is having a little bit of problems with his headset, so we were trying to fix that. Wasn't working out properly. I got some advice for him. As soon as he logs back in, he's going to join with his phone rather than his laptop because he knows how that works. Yeah, we all know what that is. But he'll be back shortly. But we were already about a minute and a half late, and I wanted to make sure I got in here. So what's up, Colts Nation? Man, boy, that loss to the Raiders, that was not something I was very happy about. Not something I was very happy about. And it brings the question, right? Cody Messer, what's up? Appreciate you being in here. What's up, Alpha Wolf? It brings the question, are the Indianapolis Colts actually a playoff-worthy team? I mean, will they get the playoffs? Most likely. But are they going to make any noise, or are they going to be a one-and-done team? You know, with the situation that we got with our passing game, it's not looking good. And I don't know, you know, I'm trying to look at the film, and I could get film from the Cardinals game. I can get film from the Patriots game. I can get film from other games. But there are a lot of games where the film, the All-22, is awful. Like, I went and looked at the Raiders that dropped last night, and it's only got one play out of every 5 that I can actually look at. And I was going to do a film room on Carson Wentz to find out, you know, the passing game in general. And it's not a good-looking thing right now because I can't really get into it. So I'm going through the Patriots and the Cardinals games, and I'm going to do a film room on those about Carson Wentz, but it's only going to be dropped on my Patreon, okay? It'll be a Patreon-only video, so if you want to see that, man, you can join the link in the description right here for my Patreon. It's only $5 a month. I'm going to start dropping 2 of those every month, minimum, for Patreon film rooms. I'll still drop some on my regular channel here, but the majority of my film rooms will be dropped on my Patreon because those guys pay me a monthly fee, and I feel like they deserve something special in return. So that's where a lot of those are going to go. But been waiting for an hour. Oh, because you've seen it. Yeah, hey, I can't help it, man. I said it for 6 o'clock, my guy. Appreciate you being here, though. Thanks so much. Ninkowski says, join Patreon. Absolutely, man. Like I said, $5 a month. That's like a cup of coffee at some places, right? Still waiting on my boy Loyalist to show up, but the Raiders game had me a little iffy. There was a couple plays where he overthrew some guys. Obviously, everybody knows about the T.Y. Hilton overpass. You know, that was bad. I'd say it was about a 15 to 20% on T.Y., but the majority of that goes to Carson because he didn't kind of lob it and give him a little bit of room to get up underneath of it. And then, of course, you got the shuffle pass again, one of them WTF moments, right, for Carson Wentz, where he shuffle passes it out forward, tried to get it to Jonathan Taylor. It gets tipped at the line, and looks like he didn't even try to throw it to him, but indeed he was trying to throw it to Jonathan Taylor. It's just he got tipped and then hit an offensive lineman in the back, right? And then another WTF moment that happened to be turned out good for the Colts, right? Where he throws that deep bomb, I think it was to Doolin down there by the end zone when he was double covered. What's up with that crap? And then Doolin was able to tip it, and it flops right, and T.Y. was like, oh, look, a Christmas present. Awesome. You know, right there in the end zone. But, yeah, Carson's been kind of sailing some over the last, 3-4 weeks, man, and it's making me a little bit worried about that, Loyalist. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Carson's really good at protecting the ball, but But like I said, I think his faith is part of that protection, because that TY touchdown, I mean, let's be honest, that should have been an interception. There was multiple times, where what was it, 12 passes? It looked like 3 or 4 of them against the Patriots should have been intercepted. So I like Carson Wentz. I'm not making my decision on this guy yet, but there are those times it's like, okay, this is where the stats can be misleading. It looks like, oh, he's really good at protecting the ball. Then you see 62% completion. And these are numbers that we just know aren't where coach wants them and stuff, So, yeah, I mean, he's our quarterback for this year and next year, But the thing is can he evolve? Can he, after having a full year with this team and stuff, sort these question marks out? That's something that they're going to definitely want to find out by the end of next year.
Alpha Wolf makes a good point. Raiders played a great also. Got to give them credit. They were the better team. Now, defensively, I was not upset with how the Colts played. Yes, they gave up a bunch of yards and stuff. Oh, by the way, before I continue with this, Alpha, I want to shout out Ninkowski Goki down here. You see he dropped $5 in the tip jar. He used that donation link right here. $5 if you want to help the stream, help our platform and our channel. You could do what Ninkowski just did, and we'd very much appreciate it. But I thought our defense played well. I thought our defense played very, very well. However, and I've said this time and time again, over the last couple years, Derek Carr plays the Colts really good. He leads receivers very well. He pinpoints balls between defenders really well. And let's face it, Hunter Renfrow played like a man on fire, okay? He was making plays against our defense that was just, it was literally, if this was like NBA jams, the football would have been on fire, right? I mean, for him anyhow. So hats off to them. Their offense played a really, really good game. I just felt like our offense should have been a lot more potent in this game, had opportunities to be a lot more potent, and was kind of a letdown in a lot of areas. I mean, we did see Carson Wentz play very, very well on the last drive of the first half and the first drive of the second half. Back-to-back touchdowns for that guy, right? And he did very, very good on those. I mean, he was very accurate, quick decision-making, all that stuff. And I was very proud of him for that. But then outside of those 2 drives, he looked like a guy who hadn't practiced all week. Oh, wait, he didn't. Right? I mean, do you think that COVID, with like 15 of our players not practicing for the majority, if not all the week, had something to do with that loss?
At first, I'm sitting there thinking yes, but then you picture these guys and the lives these guys. I mean, they get injured, they come back, they're not that far off. Now, where was their head in the headspace? A lot of that. Honestly, that's where I felt like it was lost. I mean, I just felt like these guys came, and I don't know if they were overlooking it. I really don't. I mean, this is one of those games I sit there and I watch it, and for me, even the defense, I felt like, there were some times I would love to have seen them get off the field soon, save themselves. But then again, our offense wasn't getting any long sustaining drives to give them those breathers. So like I said, I don't think that these guys, they're adults, it's a job. I mean, you go to work you take a couple weeks off for the holiday, you get back, it takes you a little time, but I would say by the 3rd or 4th quarter, that should have already wore off. You know what I mean? Now, how much effect did these guys have from, physically? You know what I mean? The physical, okay, I don't have my wind. But the thing was they started off flat from the very first snap. I mean, I felt like as the game went on, it got better from the Colts' point of view, especially defensive. To me, I see Carson Wentz. You mentioned that end of the half drive. I mean, it was no huddle, no thinking, just boom, boom, boom. I mean, and it looked amazing. It looked like there was nothing the Raiders could do to stop us. But then again, you sit there and you look throughout the game, and it's just, are they in their head? Are they? Like I said, I don't feel like practice was it, though. I really don't, because you sit there and you realize that these guys have been doing it most of their lives. So a lot of this stuff is muscle memory. So I don't know. I mean, I would love to say yes, but like I said, I see what all these other teams and other players and these particular players have done through injuries and stuff and come back and you see them. I mean, first of the year, yeah, but now this is the final week. You know, I mean, I just feel like that shouldn't have been as big as an issue.
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out real quick to Nick H. That's STR8 Himalaya at Twitter. Congratulations, my guy. You were the winner of the Backroom Collection canvas art that was given, the specialty made Pro Bowl canvas art. That was great. We were looking forward to making more opportunities like this in the future for more giveaways. And I wanted to announce that I am now partnered with Ultra Game. Okay, and Ultra Game is the #1 licensed NFL apparel seller on Amazon. And I will be giving monthly giveaways plus discounts on Ultra Game NFL apparel from here on out as soon as everything gets, in the works and I start getting stuff in the mail and stuff. So, looking forward to that. So, yeah, that's going to be awesome. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel here and then go check us out. As you see, Colts Loyalist 5678 at Twitter, and then Colts_law at Twitter. Make sure you give us a follow because there will be a lot of announcements there as well, and the giveaways will be announced here on my YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe, man. As you could tell over there beside Loyalist, right beneath when Goki Colts fan donated that $5, Darius Butler subscribed to my channel. Now, it's not Darius Butler. But it is Darius Butler. His name's Darius Butler, but it's not the Darius Butler from the Colts. But still, Darius Butler, thanks for the subscription. Appreciate that. Along with all the others that subscribe to the channel. I am only 34 away from reaching 2K. You guys make everything awesome. The Casanelli, what's up? Appreciate you being in here. Thanks so much. Boston Sports Talk, Brandon Wood, Bleed Blue. Got a bunch of people in the chat now walking in here. Appreciate each and every one of you. Sifo Benzo just pops in and says, what's up? Well, I'll tell you what's up. All right. Skylar and Kirsten also. Look, that film room that I'm going to do on Carson Wentz, like I said, is going to drop on the Patreon. So make sure you join Patreon. $5 a month. Very, very cheap. It's not hard. And you get a lot of stuff. But there's some things that worry me about Carson Wentz. Because, let's face it, yes, he's got the 4th least interceptions in the NFL. I think he's got the best touchdown to interception ratio in the NFL. But let's not make any mistakes about it. How many interceptions should he have? I mean, really? How many drops? How many interceptions were dropped this year by Carson? It's ridiculous. I can name 3 in the Patriots game alone, right? The one in the Raiders game, that shouldn't have been a touchdown. That should not have been a touchdown, okay? But at the same time, he gives us something we haven't had since Andrew Luck, that ability to extend a play. How many times has he been dead to rights for a sack? And you see just a crumbling of guys around Carson Wentz, and all of a sudden, he squirts out of that sucker and's running down the field and making a play. What? We ain't seen that crap since Andrew Luck, man. And it's really exciting to watch stuff like that happen. But is it worth the inconsistency in his accuracy? That's the only thing that I'm worried about.
Yeah, and Carson, if you get out and stuff, do something with it. Run it. Complete a pass. Don't just, that play. I mean, you're sitting there and you're all, talk about a microcosm of the year. It's like, at first you're depressed. Oh, he got sacked. And then you see that. You're like, yeah, and everything. And then you see the final throw where it's like, Malali Hux is like, I'm tall, but I'm not that tall, Yeah, so there again, great getting out of the pocket. My question to you, though, is is these Carson things that we're seeing and stuff, is this something that another year in the system? Is this something that, I mean, there was a lot of transition for Carson. I'm not making excuses. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But what I'm saying is just that stability, that year coming back to the same organization, that year with the same guys. Add a few pieces in the receiving core, whether it's a tight end or a receiver or both. You know, is that, are these things that Carson can get that 62 completion percentage, hopefully up to 66, 67, 68 range? Get that yard per attempt or yard per catch, get that back over the 7.5, 8 yards per play. Are these things that you think that can work themselves out through an off season, a stable off season, and like I said, going into next year?
Well, I'm going to answer that as soon as I say Goki Colts fan Ninkowski drops $5 more into the donation jar. Just like that. He's just dropping them like crazy. Dude, thanks for donating to the channel rather than putting it on a ticket, because I understand that, you seem to lose a lot of those, and at least this is going to a good cause and not to the state or your government. I know it's not the state because you're in Canada, but, to your government or whatever agency it is that you're donating your money to. Hopefully, hey, big props. Hope some of your prop bets win this week. He says, Sunday we win and Chargers win. Hey, I don't care if the Chargers win. I don't care if Miami wins. I don't care if Buffalo wins. As long as Indy wins. All right? The one team I do not want to win Sunday is the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right? That's the only team I don't want to win on Sunday. All right?
Yeah, it's like today I was sitting there and I was trying to go through all the possibilities and stuff. There's actually a way that the Colts can lose and still make the playoffs. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to back into the playoffs by any means. And then, some of the things that we would need to take place are, not pretty. But, like you said, let's get that win and let's just secure this on our own. But I think it's pretty impressive after this crazy year and stuff that, the Colts still control everything going to the last game. And let's be honest, teams that are really known for being slump busters or helping teams get out of a funk, we're happening to meet one here this week. The Jaguars have been where some of these teams, the Patriots and stuff, have gone to really flex. So let's do that this week, Colts. Let's flex. Let's get ourselves into the playoffs, and let's go in with that big momentum and stuff.
Okay, so I do want to say this one thing really, really quick about your question earlier. Now, Carson Wentz didn't have an off season. We all know this, right? He had the surgery on his foot. Jumped right into the fire week 1 against the Seattle Seahawks. Missed a lot of his offensive line for a period of time. Had COVID for a period of time. Missed a lot of his receivers for a period of time. You don't practice during the season as much as you practice during the off season. Okay, during training camp and preseason, you practice a whole lot more than you do through the seasonal weeks. So yes, I do believe that connection can be built on an off season where he's actually out there practicing with his guys, okay, and getting that connection with them. Speaking of connections with people, I heard a little birdie tell me, if you guys have been watching Twitter and paying attention to Frank Reich's press conferences, so there's a lot of birdies. It's deafening. It's deafening. Paris Campbell has a shot at playing this week. Paris Campbell has a shot at. You know what? I wouldn't mind him being out there for 5 to 10 plays. Just to get out there, come off IR, get designated off IR, go out there, play 5 to 10, just to get a little bit of rhythm back. And then when we beat the Jacksonville Jaguars by 30 plus, okay, then he's going to have that little bit of extra, play time and confidence going into the playoffs. And I think that will be huge for this team. Absolutely huge.
Yeah, and for me, that's what I hope. Like I said, but there are some things that I feel like, Carter had a newborn baby this year, new team this year, the move. Okay, see, maybe I am making an excuse. I'm not trying to, but like I said, there was so much on this dude's plate. And then, like you said, once he got acclimated and stuff, he still had all the Philly media stuff to deal with and all that. And then once he started getting things going, boom. Okay, now he's out training camp, And so, yeah, like I said, the fact that this team is in the playoffs, if you were to sit there and draw a chart of all the stuff this team's gone through and stuff, hey, this team, that is what makes me feel like this team is not only a playoff caliber team, but I feel like they can make some noises because they are healthier than what they have been most all year. Aside from Julian Blackman and Tyquan Lewis, for the most part, we've got a lot of our studs ready to go. Now, you hear watching the clip and stuff about Hard Knocks, and Darius was like, hey, guys, we're practicing like crap. We can't, this isn't what we need. You know what I mean? We need to step this up. I love seeing that thing, but the question I have is why in the world, with 2 weeks left in the season, are you still having practices that are that way? Or I shouldn't say still, but why are you having one of your first practices where you're discombobulated, just not seeming to be focused?
Okay, so that's pretty simple in my mind. Okay, first off, so they went on a massive run against some really, really damn good teams, right, over the last month, right? I mean, they we're talking starting out with Tampa Bay. We had the Cardinals, we had the Patriots, we had the Raiders. Really, really good teams. And then we go to the Raiders after the Cardinals game, after we just got done beating the Patriots, which no one gave us a shot to beat. And then we beat the Cardinals, which no one gave us a shot to beat because of how many people we had out in that game, right? Mm-hmm. And somehow we found a way to win. And that's kind of a letdown. They were riding high. I could kind of see how that would, take a lot out of a player. And then you have COVID drop right on top of that. You know what I mean? So that's going to take the gas out of the guys who are practicing even more, right? Because you're like, oh, crap, all these guys are out. It's rough. But in my opinion, it was the perfect time to have a game like that. Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Get that out of the way. Get that out of the way before the playoffs. Now we could get back on our 5-game run, right? Our 5-game win streak back, all right? And then maybe we could do something in the playoffs. I want to shout out Inside the Horseshoe podcast says if Paris Campbell plays this week, Wentz will ball out. Russell Saylor says, Lawrence, love the show. Have you discussed the botched timeout management at the end of the Raiders game? No. And in all honesty, there wasn't much that he could do about that. Mm-hmm. There really wasn't. Once I understand what Frank Reich was wanting to do. He was thinking, okay, my team, it's a tie ball game. All my team's got to do is stop them and get a field goal, or stop them and maybe take it to overtime, or something of that nature. He was saving his timeouts in hopes that he's going to get the ball back. Now the problem with that was that Derek Carr and Hunter Renfrow made a freaking phenomenal play. And then someone by the name of Kenny Moore did a Kenny Moore and two-finger tackled somebody. And we all wish he hadn't two-finger tackled him, because had he not tackled him, had he not tagged him down, then he would have ran in for a touchdown, and the Colts at least would have had a shot with some timeouts to go out and win the game, or tie it back up, right? Yeah, it had only been like 48 seconds or 50 seconds or something like that. But, no one expected that play to happen, all right? It is what it is, and it sucks. Bleed Blue says they're going to take all that frustration out on the Jags, win by 14. I think they need to. I'm sorry. The Patriots dropped a 50 burger on them last week. All right? The Patriots. If Jacksonville loses this game, they have the number 1 pick in the draft for the second year in a row, completely sealed up. All right. The Colts, I think, should win by 3 scores, in my opinion. All right, guys, now that I got each and every one of you in here, please smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, tag that notification bell so that you are notified next time I go live or upload a video. Oh, and by the way, go check out the Backroom Collection. And don't forget, link is in the description. This channel is proudly sponsored by the Backroom Collection. They do beautiful sports canvas art with football, basketball, baseball, and other sports themes. Special orders are accepted and autograph pieces are available. Many Indianapolis Colts signed pieces will be available beginning in November. Just use your discount code CL10 to purchase the pieces you want to spice up your living area. That's CL10. All right. I don't think that was botched with the whole using one for a 10-second runoff. I really don't. At that point in time, they were in field goal range no matter what. I think that whole situation was it was bad. It put everybody in a bad spot. You're all kind of in a shock and awe, you know. So I'm not going to hang on that too much.
Yeah. For me, I mean, honestly, the team put us in that spot. Okay, the team put themselves in that spot, and like you said, that wasn't to me a game changer. You know, the only thing, honestly, I felt like Coach maybe was a little lacking on was just getting his guys ready before the game. Okay, because when the team got on the field and stuff, I felt like offense was letting us down, defense was special teams. I mean, my gosh. Special teams. When did Rigoberto become the leading special team guy? You know, that's just you've never seen that. I mean, even Pat McAfee in his heyday, you know, he only got one a game. You know, so for me, I felt like the whole team as a group had a lot of areas. The thing is, guys, we lost this thing by a last-second field goal, and I mean, I don't think there's a single player, coach, or fan that would say that we were operating much more than 50%. Now, that's a problem, okay? But to sit there and I mean, and honestly, this is the first team this year that I felt like we lost to, where I felt like this should have been a win. You know, with the way, you know, all of our guys came back and everything. I just felt like this should have been a win. And we've won those games, game in and game out. There wasn't, you know, I mean, a whole lot of that going on. So here again, the Colts have found a different way to lose. Test driving it, okay, we don't like that, and let's learn from it and let's grow from it. But like you said, let's take some of that angst. Let's just use a little bit of it on the Jets, okay? Let's pocket a little bit of away from the playoff stuff that we're doing.
Well, Kirk Jefferson here, he says the Colts will pull off the first wins against Jags since 2014 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. 2014.
We should win it. Yeah, here's the thing. It's been longer than that since we beat the Pats. Right. And, you know, and then we finally got that dub, and I was very, very happy about that. You know, I mean, we didn't win against the Pats since, you know, Manning was quarterback. Right. I get it. It's in Jacksonville, and the Colts have issues in Jacksonville or in London. You know, either way, it's considered their home, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Indy's got to go in there, and they got to stomp them. Ukiah 12 says they're not playoff worthy if they lose to Jacksonville. And I'm going to agree with you on this. If we lose to Jacksonville, then just pack it all up and go home. You know, even if you slide in, because you can still get in. The Colts can still get in even if they lose with a little help. But if you lose, just pack it up and go home, because you have no right to be in the playoffs. Am I wrong?
I don't think so, but, you know, there again, I mean, if they lost and they made the playoffs, you're going to see me right here this time next week going, we can do this. So.
Yes, I'll be the same way. I will always root for my team, but at the same time, I mean, the hit to how I feel about the team and where they could go will take a massive drop. Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Still looking in here. Mike in here. Well, the Jets almost beat Tampa. I mean, the Jets beat a lot of teams and almost beat a lot of teams, right? They almost beat. Well, shoot, they did beat the Titans. Heck, the Texans beat the Titans. Now, Indy smashed the Jets. I mean, they didn't smash the Jets worse than they smashed the Bills, though. So I'll give the Colts credit on that one. They smashed the Bills pretty bad. And if Rico's watching this, hey, I'm sorry, but I just got to say it as it is. All right. Yeah, I'm one of those guys right now. Carson needs to quit overthrowing people. Okay, That's his problem. And as long as Carson Wentz is overthrowing people, that puts the Colts in a bad situation. I have loved the play calls that Frank Reich has called for the majority of the season, especially since week 3. Okay, Absolutely loved his coaching style and his play. Has he made a couple hiccups here and there? Yeah, but, I mean, for the most part, he's been great, okay? And there's nothing that's detrimental to the team. The one detrimental thing to the team was that one stupid call week 4 against the Titans when they were like 1st and 10 at their own 1-yard line, and they call a pass play, a screen, and Wentz should have never been put in that spot. That was the worst coaching decision he has made all year. All right, at least in my opinion. All right.
Right.
But for the most part, I think Frank Reich's done a very good job. You know who's impressed me a lot lately? Matt Eberflus. I'm not going to trash on Matt Eberflus or his defense against the Raiders because, like as we said earlier, I think the Raiders' offense played phenomenal. All right. But our guys were in position. They did what they were supposed to do. They missed some tackles. I'll give it that. There was a few missed tackles that should have been made. Right, but I thought that Eberflus did a really good job play calling. The Colts have been playing so much man lately. And I'm so proud of Matt Eberflus for calling man coverage and not going into that stupid soft zone right from the get-go in the second half, I mean.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
No, I just, I agree with you. And the thing is, during the game, I mean, like if I was, like when you do the live reaction, if I was in the, during the game, I'm sitting there going, Renfro, how in the heck do you let Renfro, get open and stuff? And I'm just like, and then the thing is, you see who it's up against. It's up against Kenny Moore, and it's like, no, what's going on? This is one of our better players against one of their better players, and it's like, and the thing is and this may be wrong, but I just feel like our defensive line needs to help our secondary out a little bit with the rush. I really feel like we could get that rush generated, and then if we can get Carson just to make the simple plays, okay? That Arizona touchdown, remarkable. Not too many quarterbacks can make that play. But there was 5 or 6 throws last week that were like, I'm like, just pitch and catch. Just make the simple throw, you know what I mean? And like you said, overshooting guys and stuff, And I know what your take is on the T.Y. pass when he was wide open and everything, that T.Y. had stumbled. But still, on my point, on the way I look at that pass, leave it no doubt. There's nobody 10 yards. I mean, throw that thing as easy of a catch as to make, to get that 7 yards or 30 or 40 or touchdown, If we can get those two things, if we can get our pass rush, I think our secondary is going to be like, oh, this is what it's like, what I mean? And that aggression is just going to be amped up. And to your point with Eberflus, love the choices, love the change, the metamorphosis or whatever you want to call it in the way that this defense is playing. Because, we had these leads, but like you said, it was just we get a lead. Oh, no, we're only up by 2.5 scores. You're still nervous. Now I don't feel that way. Now I feel like, okay, this defense is going to sit there and be more rigid, more, are they going to get more of them bigger plays because of the man cover? I understand that's a possibility, and then look at, our young cornerbacks this year. I remember going into the offseason going, man, we just need these guys to step up. Rock Ya-Sin. I mean, heck
Been a
yeah,
stud
Isaiah
all year.
Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers. You know, what I mean, I like the way Rodgers. You know, it's like that interception. It was almost like he baited Carr a little bit. You know, it's like he just let off the gas a little bit to let the receiver get a yard or two ahead of him. And as soon as that ball went here, man, he turned on those afterburners, and it looked like he was the receiver on that play.
The only problem with
like
Rodgers that I've seen this year is that he gets caught on the double move to go short rather than long.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he'll get hit on back shoulder throws very, very easily. He'll get hit on a double move where, you know, he'll pretend the receiver pretends like he's going to cut up field and instead goes on an in route or an out route or something like that. You know, Rodgers does get hit on those, but he's generally pretty darn good when it comes to covering deep downfield.
Yeah, and then for me, you look at the limited experience that Rodgers has.
Oh yeah.
I'm very, very hyped about what this second is, you know. And honestly, that was one of my more down. You know, I mean, I you know, Quiddy pay. I mean, yeah, I know I just sat there and said this defensive line needs more, but Quiddy's getting in there more. You know, I mean, we're seeing more of that.
Kamoko Toure as well.
Yeah. So like I said, these guys are on the cusp. And I don't know if anybody remembers, but the 06, our defense was playing like garbage mostly here. Okay, we got Bob Sanders back. All of a sudden, we went on this ridiculous run defensively that, quite honestly, the Colts organization hadn't seen before or after. You know, this year, I honestly feel like we can get a couple of these little improvements or whatever, you know what I mean? That, like I said, the window of opportunity maybe open a little sooner in a deep playoff run than what I expected to win. Because I honestly felt like if we got in and we made it past the first round, okay, good season. Like I said, I do believe that there's that potential. Why not us? Well, you know, a little here, a little there. Why not us? You know, I feel like this has a chance to opening that window a little bit sooner than I expected.
Now there's some play. Now obviously Eberflus, I'm talking about the secondary. They've shown they can play zone and man coverage now, and Eberflus is scheming around the quarterbacks that he plays against. Right, you get those guys that can scramble and pick up yards like a Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, stuff like that. You're going to see a lot more zone. You see pocket quarterbacks like Derek Carr, Tom Brady, Mac Jones. You're going to see a lot more man coverage, and I'm proud. Because that's exactly what those coverages are meant to defend against, right? That's what you use. Obviously, you don't want to do it all of it. You know, you don't want to run all man coverage against a pocket guy. It was zone that Darius Leonard got the interception from, you know, against Derek Carr. So you don't want to run all man because if you do run zone occasionally, that will throw off a quarterback and flip, you know, reversal on that. There's some comments in here in the chat I want to get to. And I appreciate each and every one of you and the chat and everything. There's a lot of guys in here. Brandon Wood was talking about it. I believe Thrillix Chill Videos was talking about it, and a few others like Kurt Jeffers. How Carson Wentz looks really good in a 2-minute offense. And maybe we should do that more often. And I do not disagree. You know, we've seen what he looks like in a 2-minute offense. Now, here's the question. We're supposed to be a run-first team. When you're running a 2-minute offense, most generally it's the quarterback making the play calls. He's making those decisions. Do you trust Carson Wentz to go in a 2-minute offense? We're gonna run an off tackle here. You know, in a hurry up mode. You know, running the ball as well as passing it. Do you trust Carson Wentz to make those kind of decisions?
No. I mean, just to be honest, I don't. I mean, there's been choices that have been made. I mean, I know I can't keep harping on, but that T.Y. that was on a first down. That T.Y. touchdown catch. That was on a first down. I hear people, well, it's the same as a punt. Yeah, if you're punting on first down, you know. I don't agree with some of the choices that he makes. It's like, Tennessee Titans game, overtime. JT, 7-8 yards down the middle of the field, nobody around him. He tries to fit it into that big, exciting play. Okay? I don't mind that in my quarterback to some extent, but whenever you're sitting and you show a pattern of making these choices and then not fulfilling it, you know what I mean, whether it ended up in an interception, okay, I'm not going to sit there and look at the T.Y. touchdown as a positive play because 8 times out of 10, you know, that's going to turn out to be a negative play. So for me, I'm not there yet with Carson. I do like the thought of mixing the no huddle, not waiting till like the last drive, 2-minute type thing, but mix it in. And it's just more of a let's change things up. Okay, this offense under Coach Wright has had its ebbs and flows where it gets in this lull. Let's break out this 2-minute drill. Okay, I don't care if it's the first quarter with 3 or 4.5 minutes left. Just to change things up and stuff. But like you said, that 2-minute offense isn't going to fit in to what the Colts are best at, and that's running the ball. You know what I mean? Because offensive linemen, all these guys, you may think there's not a lot of time between plays. You try telling Quentin Nelson and then that if they're doing the hurry up and stuff, and just the way of grinding it out and stuff, your run game will take a hit. So I do like the idea of it, but I don't want it to be like, okay, we're a 2-minute offense, or we're a hurry up offense. I like mixing it up, just like everything else. Give a little bit of it, try to jumpstart your quarterback. Okay, boom, back to JT. Let's get that passing game in. Let's get a little bit more of the shorter, simpler. But honestly, I feel like the play designs and stuff, there are opportunities that Carson just hasn't taken. Okay,
and I'd love to be able to see the film on that, but thanks NFL Game Pass for not doing it. They had me all excited. Look at the NFL Game Pass. Ooh, the film's up. And then I look, and it's like 1 out of every 5 is all I can watch. Really? Really? That's stupid. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I had to get that out.
No, that's fine because, like I said, just to me, that's why I'm not 100% satisfied. Okay, I don't put him at a Phillip Rivers or Peyton Manning. Okay, I trust him to make the right decision more often than not. Okay, that's just not where I am with Carson.
And you're not saying you don't trust in his ability. It's the play calling decisions. Because like Thrillix in here is saying, if you can't trust your quarterback, he has no business being your quarterback. It's not that we don't trust him to go out there and pull off the plays that are called. It's calling the plays that's put into question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just finding the right piece of the puzzle. Okay, I've got a high safety over here. This is, and like I said, give it more time. Give it more time in this offense. Let Carson show that. But to sit there and ask me right now if I'm confident in that, no. I would say there's enough of a body of work that shows that at times he lacks in that area, and for that, there again, first year, let's let this guy, everybody wants it, and they want it now, and I understand. I want a Super Bowl this year. But if you sit there and tell me, okay, we take Carson Wentz this year, we make the playoffs, and then next year we turn around, we make the AFC Championship, and the following year we win the Super Bowl, I'll take it. Super Bowl in 2 more years? Yes, sir. Can I do that, please? And that's, just for me, that's where I'm at right now. I didn't expect these guys to be going to the Super Bowl this year. Okay? So I'm fine with, hey, we made the playoff. We're going to make the playoffs, and then let's see what noise we get.
All right, so got some more people in here. Ayana, I'm gonna say, if I mispronounce this, I apologize. Ayana, Lee, and JT, because it just falls off the tongue so good to say it that way. Says we'll get into the playoffs, and I got some other people in here saying pretty much the same thing. And wait, did I just see a name that I didn't think I'd ever see? Oh no, okay. Yo, is that JT? I don't know. That's a good. There's JT Miller. Yes, I'm here. Gardaki's playground. Wentz needs more weapons. Yeah, he's going to need another wide receiver next year because I doubt T.Y. will be there, and there's a good possibility that Doyle will be gone as well. But appreciate each and every one of you. Please smash that like button. Dan got the plan. That's JT. That's actually JT and his girlfriend. Oh, what's up, JT? Appreciate you being in here. Thanks so much. Look, I don't know exactly how many yards does JT need to get that 2K.
It's like 200. Yeah, because wasn't it like 350 going into last week, and he got
Yeah.
100?
Well, here's the deal. Okay, so we ended last year playing against Jacksonville. He got 253 yards rushing. Okay, so JT, just put that back in your mind and make us all super proud, because we're already uber proud of you and everybody. The offensive line and everything. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal, right? Absolutely phenomenal when it comes to the run game. And it's not just you. The run game in general has been really, really good. Hines has done a very good job. I thought that Marlon Mack played well when he was out there as well. And it's because our running backs aren't just running backs. They're football players, right? That's what I love about it. That's what I love about our running back stable. They could do everything. They pass block, right? They'll receive out of the backfield. Of course, they're going to run the football. Do you not remember Jonathan Taylor lead blocking for Nyheim Hines to get that touchdown? I mean, I jumped out. If you go back and look at my reaction to that play, I jumped out of my seat. I was more excited that Jonathan Taylor was lead blocking and pushed J.C. Jackson all the way out of the end zone, right, to allow him to get in there. I was like, that is freaking nuts, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's why we have the best running back stable in football. And I think a lot of that, I get that we have a new running back coach, but the coach that retired after last year, I think, was a monster help for the Indianapolis Colts, our old running back coach. I don't know what, I haven't really got a lot, time to talk with the new running backs coach, but, I mean, the old former fullback for the 49ers being our coach, I think he was huge.
Yeah, Rathman, I mean, even this last week in the pressers and stuff, or was it after the game, JT still mentioned, they asked JT about how hard it was to practice against Darius, because he's always so good at these punch outs and stuff and everything. It's like, that helps me, but he goes, Coach Raffin was the one who, I still hear his voice in my head. So whenever our coach sits there and makes an impression on a man, on a professional athlete that, that a message that's going to resonate and prove to be profound. I mean, does anybody remember the big knock that everybody had on JT coming out of the draft? It wasn't that he wasn't fast enough. It wasn't that he wasn't strong enough. Or, the only thing that anybody ever said was couldn't catch the ball and he fumbled. I think he's had like one fumble each year. Yeah, that looks like it's a habit. It looks like it's a problem,
Yeah, I mean, come on. And go back to the Ravens game to see if he can't do something by catching the football out of the backfield. Okay, what was that, like 70-some yards and a tug? I mean, he caught that ball and was gone. No one even came close to touching him. All right, so we got in here, it says 266 to go. 266. Now, first off, the fact that you got 2K rushing and 20 touchdowns, already the youngest player in NFL history to do that. To me, that just like shouts that he's got such a great career coming up. But 266 more to get 2,000 yards rushing. I'm going to say this right now. My boy Jonathan, Mr. Taylor, I'd like to call you my friend, but I know that we don't know each other. You get 266 yards against Jacksonville and break 2,000. If you don't get MVP, I'm going to drive my happy butt down to New York myself. All right? And I'm going to throw a fit to the Associated Press. Okay? I'm going to tell you that right now, because that would be some BS, because if you could do something like that and go out. Now, first and foremost, we need a win. If you get 266 yards, break 2,000, and don't get the win, then the 266, as nice as it is, means jack and squat, right? Colts need to win first. All right?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'll take 2 touchdowns and 66 yards if need be. Just give us the dub.
Exactly. You know what? Maybe he gets 66 yards rushing and 250 yards receiving. All right. Let's get 6 touchdowns in one game. You know what I'm saying? Wait, wasn't that
let's save some of it for the following weeks.
Well, I mean, we got Carson Wentz and other guys that could do stuff following weeks too. And it's not like we're going to wear Jonathan Taylor out. You see how much Wisconsin used the man? I mean, in those 4 years he was there.
I was sitting there and I was doing some digging on that. Just the things that he did at Salem High in his high school career. I mean, guys, you can still go into and read the New Jersey State record book. This young man was. So this isn't somebody that's just done it at the college and professional. I mean, he has done this his entire life, and I sit there and I hear about how he's overlooked and stuff, and I just don't understand. Is it because he's not loud and obnoxious? I don't get it. I'm glad. Hey, thank you. Colts will gladly take that, you know what I mean? But I don't understand how he wasn't just, a 5-star coming out of high school, and how was he not freaking a first-round draft pick, running back or not? I don't care. When you sit there and you see, everybody talks about Quentin Nelson. When Quentin Nelson was drafted and stuff, the culture changed, the physicality just sort of, and Chris Ballard is built around that. My goodness. I mean, Derrick Henry and JT, only two running backs for me that fit in this type of physical scheme and stuff. You know what I mean? And there again, I'd take JT over Derrick Henry. I know culture shock. I heard what you were saying. You're wrong. But I mean, no, he was saying that Derrick Henry was still the best running back in the league, and I'm like, I understand what his point was. He's like, hey, JT's only been here going on 2 years. Derrick Henry's done it for longer. I respect that, but I would still say in that
aspect, then Adrian Peterson is the best running back in the league. If you want to go by, how long someone's been here and they're still running well and blah blah blah. No, give me Jonathan Taylor. The guy will get hit in the backfield, pick up 3 positive yards, and still possibly take it to the house because we all know that if he can get through that wash, then it's that second level he's gone. Yeah. But guys, we're closing in on that last few minutes of the stream. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed so that you're notified next time I go live by hitting that notification bell as well. And if by chance you want to help donate to the channel to help us bring more and better content to you, feel free to use the donation link right here in the description of the video. I would appreciate it very, very much. And I'm going to end this by saying, in Jacksonville, I need the Colts. I need the Colts to look better as a team. Okay? As a team. I don't want to see our special teams losing, contain on returns and stuff like that. I want to see our receiving game on point. It don't have to be perfect. He don't need to have 95% completion percentage, okay? I just want to see some good throws out there. And now some of those throws that he threw, like the one where he escaped that sack and threw it to Mo Alley Cox, I really do believe that throw was a just in this down, right? Because there was a guy in front of Carson Wentz. If he'd have took off, he'd have got lit up. All right. And then the guy in front of Mo Alley Cox that he threw to, it was a guy right in front of him. So he just threw it over the top of the defender and was like, well, Mo's 10'6", if anyone has a shot at catching it, I guess he does. But if he don't, at least it's not a turnover. And then we move on to second down. So I'm cool with that. Some of those plays are good. There are other plays where he massively overthrows guys. He had Michael Pittman Jr. downfield on a streak play. Michael had a step on the dude. He overthrew him by 5 yards. That's a little worrisome. I love what Carson Wentz brings with his escape ability, his big play ability, his ability to extend a play. The fact that he's like, perfect on quarterback sneaks for first downs this year, right? I mean, perfect. Yeah. The dude's good, and he's a baller. He goes out there and puts everything into it to win.
Yeah.
But
it's not like he's only snuck the ball once or twice. I mean, I think he's done it like 15, 16 times.
He had 4 times the other night, right? Against, I think it was Arizona, right? 2 weeks ago, I think he ran it 4 times on 4th down and to sneak and got him every time. Sometimes I think his adrenaline gets a little too high, and it shows in his arm. I'm not 100%, but that's what it feels like because my adrenaline gets up just watching him play. All right. But guys, thank you so much. If the Colts, in my opinion, look like a better all-around football team against Jacksonville, I don't care if Jacksonville is the bottom feeder of the league right now. All right, they're still an NFL football team, okay? And they're going to go out there and fight for some kind of pride because they've had an awful, awful season, not just record-wise, but what's happened with them from preseason all the way up till now, right? They just had an awful season. Not quite as bad as the Raiders, but a pretty bad season. So they're going to be playing for a little bit of pride in that, and I need the Colts to go out there and do their thing. Hopefully there'll be a sea of blue and white out there in Jacksonville as well to help support our boys, because I know we have some ticket holders that will travel, and they travel well. So my good luck to the Indianapolis Colts and everybody out there. Now, of course, we're going to do a breakdown for the Jacksonville game this Friday at 6 o'clock. All right. So please don't miss that. I'm also doing the plan is me and DeQuell Jackson are going to do a live stream tomorrow.
Okay.
So keep an eye out on that. Don't miss that. All right. Because we take questions. Okay. From the chat. So don't miss out on that one. Any final words there, Loyalist?
No, I just more of the same. Like you said, this team, yes, they put a staker out there, I understand. But this is the team that for weeks now we've been here. Oh, this is the team you don't want to see in the playoff. This is, okay. I understand everybody's game to game, and now they're down on the team because we lost to the Raiders. It's fine. We make the dance. We're going to sit there, and that's when these guys are going to start really clicking. That's when these guys are going to, like you said, find that 5-game win streak mojo and stuff. This is going to be an enjoyable playoff run for the Colts.
Absolutely. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. That's Colts Loyalist. And as usual, I want you to have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.